and figuratively. Driving out of the forest, heading to work. Hello and happy Tuesday, everyone. How are you? I am doing pretty stinking fabulous. I have been up since 5 o'clock. I got a Dr. Kilt's KMT show under my belt, a Mitch show under my belt, and even an Aaron show under my belt. Aaron, otherwise known as Movie Goaters. Well, I had about a pot of coffee because I had nothing but time on my hands to drink a whole lot on the collagen. Today's lunch was at traffic. Today's doctor appointment was at 7:45 this morning. I was her first patient and she was running late. So I was listening with one ear to Aaron's show, trying to chat text in between sentences as the nurse was taking down notes, scheduling my mammogram, my annual mammogram for the year, and of course I did a fake and bake. I see that there's people chatting, so my apologies because I can't read them. I have to keep my eyes on the road and not on the chat. So I sincerely apologize for not reading your chats. But I want to clearly remind those of you that are chatting, after we are done with this live stream, to comment in the real comments. And please make sure to put down the Costco word, no hashtag, just Costco, to get entered into the 30th drawing for the Costco gift card. So let me tell you about the test results. The nurse practitioner that I saw, because I had to get the physical, and it's not me that did this. This is Mayo Clinic, my insurance company, saying I had to get this in before the end of the year in addition to the mammogram. So she, of course, said, you really should have a more well-balanced diet. I said, well, I pretty much balance my diet on the scale every day. Snicker, snicker. I don't think she liked my humor. She asked me, go figure. I was giggling. She asked me if this was my natural hair color or if I dyed it. Of course, she had a head of hair that was completely frosted. Quite lovely, might I add, and I gave her a compliment because back in the day, for those of you that know, I used to frost my hair as well. Until the roots came in, as white as these are, I was looking like a skunk. So I gave her a compliment. She barely cracked a smile about my balancing and weighing my protein, grams of protein. Didn't even want to hear how many grams of protein or what my protocol was, other than tell me that I have my blood levels down here, little notes I have to glance down. Back in the day, before I got serious, the highest reading was 107 for my glucose. That was the day that my cardiologist told me either I get my act together or I'm going to die or lose a limb like my father's mother, my grandmother. I never met her. She died before I was born. Or have an ugly kidney death like my sister did, my eldest sister that had childhood onset diabetes. So the glucose was very, very high back in the day. Now mine, the fasting glucose was 86, which is pretty typical of what I am when I test mine at home with my Keto Mojo. I get about 79, 85, in that range right there. So it was 86. She was concerned about the fat that I'm consuming. And I really should choose low fat. You guys, you all know the pitch that they give us as patients. You all know it, so I don't need to reiterate it. But my cholesterol level was high. And inside, I'm thinking to myself, well, no, duh, it's always high. But of course, I asked her to pull the stats. That's funny. Isn't this funny? I tell you guys, don't text me because I have to keep my eye on the road. And here I am. Eye on the road. Eye on the paper. Oh, my vitamin D level was very high. She was concerned about that and how it would affect my kidneys and bone disease, and that it was just so bad. My vitamin D level was 96. Last year it was 93. She asked if I'm out in the sun a lot. I said I was out in the sun more last year after back surgery than I was this year with the Canadian wildfires. If you know, you know. We barely had any sun. And it would have been harder for me with fresh hip surgery to get in and out of my lounge chair, my tanning chair. Okay, what was my lipid panels? Nobody's in front of me. Nobody's behind me. Triglycerides were 78. Last year they were 104. And they were 65 in 2021. That was the lowest triglycerides I had. Total cholesterol, today's reading was 255. Last year it was 247. Back in 21 it was 240. Cholesterol, LDL, 166. You know I am not worried about any of these numbers, none whatsoever. My non-LDL was 179. Last year it was 186. Of course I fasted beforehand, but I did the Dave Feldman protocol. And of course, no medications. I told her what my supplements were. She told me to go from the vitamin D that I'm presently taking, which is 5,000 IUs, to maybe 1,000 IUs. I use the Sports Research vitamin D and K2. And they just don't like supplements. Now, she did not want to throw any statins at me. I was surprised about that. So much for that test. Over and done with. We'll see what my mammogram is. I test myself all the time. Do my own self mammograms. Not that that's not a big deal. Breast cancer is a big deal. But that will be done in November. Okay, now for the news. The news is we were automatically told at the start of our shift to go into the conference room. Big meeting. As a matter of fact, once I hit the floor, when I walked from the break room onto the shop floor, it was very silent. You could have heard a pin drop. It was so silent. Well, that's because the entire first shift was in the conference room and they were getting the news. So I peered into the conference room and I saw furrowed brows and mouths opened up as though they were yelling, and people turning to each other. You know, that resting bitch face that people have. Well, first shift, they have so much stinking drama. I'm going to cut to the chase. They decided, as opposed to 3 shifts to work and stagnated shifts, there are some people, not me, that work 4 10-hour days and then they have off for 3 days so that they're free to, for example, go to doctor appointments, take their kids to the dentist every Friday, or whatever the case may be. So those people, I can see where they're mad. 3rd shift, completely, they're getting rid of it. So the plant is going to open up for 1st shift to start from 6 in the morning until 2. Everybody is going to have one 20-minute break, and that's going to be allocated from management, which means the smokers are beside themselves. OMG, they're having a total hissy. Now, I had a smoker back in the day, and I no longer have that monkey on my back anymore. Bad enough I'm a carb addict, but we all know. I don't have to go all bitchy on you guys. 2nd shift now is going to start at 2 o'clock. So 1st shift will leave at 2. 2nd shift starts at 2 and ends at 10 p.m. 2nd shift does not have the ability to work any overtime. 2nd shift cannot work from 10 until midnight. More importantly, Jerry's lives will not be able to take place. No, it's bad enough right now. Y'all know that. I don't have a big audience at night. Not many people stay up to watch my live. If they watch them on replay, repeat later during the day. I don't mind these drives lives. I don't mind these at all. Unfortunately, I can't engage with people. That's the only unfortunate thing. But to come home and do a live from 11 until midnight, I may catch George in England. I may catch Jojo in Australia. But I want to be available to as many people as possible. Not to mention the fact that I'm going to be tired, so it's going to be late at night. So I'm bouncing back and forth what I'm going to be doing insofar as my channel is concerned. I love lives, I love interacting, and I love a party. I love to listen to you guys during the course of my day as I'm working, listening along, and learning. I learned from the Kiltsmite tribe. That's how I did my classes, listening at first to the class as it was going live with Dr. Nelson and my teammates. I'd listen to them and all of their questions. Then the week I would be able to catch up on the repeat Zoom meeting, do my classwork, etc., my assignment, for lack of a better word. Tonight is another coaching class, by the way. But I do, when I hear a comment that I know something about, or I really want to engage with, or let's be, some of y'all are just hysterical. Yesterday's cookout, total stitch. Friday's pajama party with Amy, come on. Amy and Juliet, you guys are killing me. I was audibly laughing and thanking the Lord that I was not working with anybody. It was that funny. I'm cracking up listening to the pajama party and the interaction. Y'all are so fun. You are fun people. So I'm going to have to devise something to work out my schedule. I have plenty of time to do that because the new work schedule doesn't start until January 21st, 2026. And by then, that'll be 30 days short of the end of I'll be 30 days into my fast, 29 days into my fast when that kicks off. So I'm going to be sassy, very sassy. Okay, what did I feed Jack? I know you guys want to find out. You know, you saw, well, you didn't see the letter. I read you the letter 2 weeks ago that he was saying, I'm a terrible cook. Everything I cook doesn't taste right. I used to be a good cook 29 years ago. It was the Charlie Brown teacher. Well, today, I figured I'll make him lunch because he was yelling at me on the paper that he's not a morning eater. I don't eat in the morning. So I'm heading out the door. I have to be at work at 1. I'll make him some lunch. So I made him 2 potatoes cut up, deep fried French fries in beef tallow because seed oils are not allowed in my house, period. And well, aside from the crap he brings home, his crappy donuts that just don't go with his digestive system, but he doesn't seem to get it. The definition of insanity, keep doing the same thing over and over again. Keep buying them seed oil donuts, Jack. Keep eating them. Go ahead. Oh, and then I made him his white bread with real American cheese, Sargento real cheese, as a matter of fact, and butter, a triple-decker grilled cheese sandwich. So that's what I made him. He only ate half, which is fine. But sometimes I come home and I see a pint of ice cream. I used to be this way back in the day with Ben and Jerry's. People think that's a wonderful ice cream. It's crap. It's good for all the junk that they put in there, but now, just the thought of it. Bleh. I know it's considered a premium ice cream, but he has a pint of ice cream. Yesterday, I think he had a pizza, and I think he made it stovetop. I think what he did, I don't know, he took one of the smaller frying pans. Why do I know this? Is because it was left in the sink for me to do dishes and wash for him. Because even though I can't cook for him, trust me, his arms are broken when it comes to cleaning up after himself. So the frying pan was in the sink, which appeared to me frying little baby pizzas, you know, I bought it a couple weeks ago and finally you're getting to one. And some milk yesterday, and then a pint of Culver's custard. That was the extent of his eating. So at least what I made him was better. Not by much, I realize. White bread, white potatoes, bleh. Bleh. Lost my train of thought with the traffic. Oh yeah, the diet is concerned. I'll be able to make him lunch before I leave every day, before I go off to work, which is fine. I will probably make him more along the lines of a sandwich. I really don't know, but he's got to eat something better than a pint of Culver's custard every day. And I know some of you are saying, why are you even buying it, Jerry, for him? That's a whole other subject right there. Now we've got a crazy person walking in the street right in front of me. Ugh. Small town. I'm almost at work right now, so I'll be hanging up this live shortly. So overtime is going to continue tonight. It could be for sure 2, could be a 4-hour stint. And then tomorrow for sure it's going to be 2 hours. There's not going to be any overtime on Friday. So I'm thinking that for sure I will be doing a Friday Live. So stay tuned for that. And I think Friday is, I don't even know what day is today, you guys. I don't even know. I can't even read my watch. I think tomorrow's the 30th. I think. Try to read my watch here. Yikes. Yep. So I'll be doing the drawing tomorrow. So make sure that you put your comments, and of course, comments must include the word Costco in your comment. And insofar as second and third shift are concerned, we were not as ticked off. I wasn't mad at all. I'm not mad at all about this new work schedule. When I first started here, it'll be 15 years that I've been a full-fledged employee next year, but I had to come under Manpower first, and there was several hiring freezes, so they didn't hire me on right away. And once I got hired on right away, then the benefits came, etc., etc. But there was a time that people were knocking down our door trying to get a job at our place. Nowadays, the buzz is out. The community isn't as gung-ho about being a employee at my place of business as they are other places for whatever reason. I don't know. I look at it this way. It's a job in America. People should be grateful for the jobs that they have. And I know they're mad and they're going to huff and puff. Well, I'm going to find a different job. And they use colorful language, the big F word, the GD word that I don't use. All the words and all the anger was poured out yesterday. I know it's a management decision. As a former business owner, I get it 100%. And I'm not mad about it at all. Ideally, I should be retiring next year, depending on the state of the economy. That's a whole other issue. I don't know if I'm going to go through with the retirement for sure next year or not. We'll see. That's to be determined, of course. So here I am at the job. I appreciate those of you that came along with me for the ride. And thank you to those of you that were commenting. I appreciate it. I'm going to park this vehicle. It is 12:35 Central Standard Time. And maybe catch a couple of your comments as I'm parking. Let me rear end this baby. Sorry, the backup beeper is gonna start beeping, you guys. Sorry. Beep, 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 beep. Especially as I get closer to the end. There we go. Beep, 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 beep. Okay, I'm done. I'm parked. All right, let me pick up the phone now. I do not know how to. Hello. I don't know how to look back and read any of the comments. It is going to be a fabulous day today. Nothing is as drama as other people think it is in my life. It's not that bad. Slowly but surely, I'm getting myself out of my debt. There's no help. I want to go dairy. Hey, Aaron, don't worry. We weren't talking about your driving. That's okay. My sister, I'll tell you about my sister shortly, but my sister says I drive like a grandma. I can take off my seatbelt now because I am here at the destination. She says I drive like a grandma, but I'm still alive. I'm cognizant of these animals that come out. Well, hi there, Jerry. Since you can't read back, I'm here. Good to see ya. Now I can read, Lynn. Hello, Lynn and Aaron are talking away. Yeah. It's saying that I have 4 viewers and 4 thumbs. So that's good. Thank you, those of you that are watching along with me. I have a few minutes that I can sit out here and kibitz with you guys. What did I pack myself for lunch today? Nothing. Because inside I have some of that egg loaf, the two crazy ketos, French toast, whatever. I don't put any sweetener in any of that. Listen, that new, pardon me, that new bone broth unflavored protein, yeah, it is so good in that egg loaf. I just put 1 scoop in there for extra protein, the beef protein. There's zero flavor to it. As a matter of fact, I used it for dinner. Oh no, hang on 1 second. Well, hi there, Jerry. Ah, I missed that one. And I missed Lynn's. Shoot, that's because I was talking. Okay, take off the glasses, Jerry. Hi, okay. So I put the unflavored bone broth in my coffee today, and I put a scoop of collagen, and I put a scoop of gelatin. No wonder my nails are as hard as they are. I am going colorless right now. I'm trying to let my nails breathe, get some real color. You can see they're kind of yellowed because they've been hiding and they've been under color for a while, so they're yellowing, but super strong, and my hair is pretty resilient. I'm trying to grow out my hair so that I can donate it. I'll probably go maybe to my shoulder, short-ish, but I try to donate it every year. It grows like a weed, and it grows especially well when I eat the collagen and have the beef collagen and beef gelatin that grows real well for me. And now people are waving at me. Hi, Jerry. We had such a fun time yesterday. I'm trying to poison people at work. I bought them some candy. Somebody's got to eat it. It's not me. I bought them some candy that I saw from the dollar store when I went to get thank you cards yesterday. So I picked up a couple of bags of candy, and they said, "Oh, Jerry, you're not going to eat any of this, are you?" I said, "Oh, no, I'm here to poison you all. You are the worker bees. You are the serfs. Sugar up, get yourself all hyper, start making money for the company. I'll be in the back supervising." Giggle, giggle. So the first, I keep going back and forth with the story now. The first shifters, now this is my visually ascertaining what I believe the problem is with the first shifters I work with. They like to work overtime after their shift is over, because what they like to do is kibitz and gossip amongst themselves. So they'll do it for 2 or 4 hours. They like the extra breaks because you're allowed a 20-minute lunch or 2 10-minute breaks. And if you work overtime, every 2 hours, you're allowed a 10-minute break. Well, for example, they'll go on their after first shift is over break, and they'll go in the break room at maybe 1:05 and come out at 1:25. So they stretch that. The smokers, like I said, are going to be upset. A lot of these people don't like each other. They're just, I don't know how to put it. They're not city people. Not that there's anything wrong with city people. I was a city person myself from Milwaukee. But big city people, we don't worry about little town gossip. I don't care what my neighbor is cooking for dinner. I miss you too, Lynn, and I hope you're going to be there on Friday. Yep, our lunch is only 20 minutes because the company's paying for lunch, Lynn. So I'm glad I saw those 2 comments. The company is paying for our lunch, hence first shift starting at 6 o'clock and ending at 2, and the 120-minute break. But the people like the extra breaks because they like the extra time. They like to leave their areas. They like to go to the bathroom on the clock. I am envisioning a lot of people taking a lot of bathroom breaks. There's a lot of leads. They're not really supervisors. Yeah, it does make sense now. There's a lot of leads, which are, floor supervisors, shall we call them, that go into the bathroom and text. It's funny because you know how you normally sit. I can't do an example right now. Well, you normally sit in the bathroom, you have your feet down on the floor. Well, they got their feet cocked behind them. Nobody poops with their feet cocked behind them. You know they're texting and you know they're goofing around. But heaven forbid I would go to the office and say, so and so has been in that bathroom now for the past 20 minutes. They're not pooping, they're texting. I have half a mind to take my cell phone and take pictures, but that's not allowed. I'm joking. I joke. I'm like Russ from the Cookout. Wow, lunch is an hour and a half by you. Well, that's the Southern. Y'all are just chilling down south. And that's good. Rest, relax, recoup, and then start the rest of your day again. Me, on the other hand, I want to take my lunch as late as possible because then I'm almost out the door. I don't smoke. I don't care. I know I would get in trouble for that. Absolutely. But you can't, the law is you can't say anything about people in the bathroom. You can't say, oh, Billy, you were in the bathroom for 20 minutes. What seems to be the issue? That's a little personal. Management can't do that. But we, on the other hand, the little worker bees, we can go, wait a minute, how come they're not out here? Also, I know first shift is upset because second shift gets $2 more an hour. Third shift gets $3 more an hour. Now that there won't be any third shift, they're taking the third shift people and putting them from, I guess you could say that they look at you funny. Yeah, they do. I know it. They're going to take the third shifters and put them where they feel is necessary. Yeah, you ain't joking there, Lynn. That is the truth. When I have to go to the bathroom, it's because of electrolytes, not because of YouTube. Or sometimes I have to go in there to make a quick comment. Like if Cindy's starting her live and it's 5 o'clock and her and Brian are starting, I'll go into the bathroom, standing in the cell. I'll say, in listening mode, and then leave right away. Washing my hands, of course, because I am not touching the door handles and not going to wash my hands. If you know, you know. TMI, too much info. Now I'm just rambling. It's 1:45. I have to go inside. I'm not in a hurry, but I got to go. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me on this impromptu live. There's my dollar. I'm straight in here. Government's still shut down. People are still starving. If you know anybody that needs food or you can help in any way, certainly, by all means, give everybody a helping hand up. Thank you so much. You have a good day too, folks. Take care, everybody. See you later. I got Kilts to listen to at 2 o'clock. I love you all. Lynn and Aaron, and those of you that are still watching, love to everybody. Toodles, and we'll see each other soon. Ta-ta.